everyone, today I have come on to do day 27 of Junk Journal July UK. Junk Journal July UK is hosted by the Vintage Button and Be Happy Stationery on YouTube, and it is a collaboration between the Facebook group Junk Journal Community Chat Room UK, Be Happy Stationery, design team members and guest designers. So prompt 27 is labels, and I thought we could make some labels. So these are basically their little master boards that Be Happy Stationery has made, and they are part of the kit. And I'm thinking we can make our own labels using these, so I'll show you a few ways to do it. I've got some stamps we could use, an ink. I've got some cutters to cut out shapes. I've also got some labels so that we can get an idea of what we're looking at. And I've got some here that are different shapes that I thought if you wanted to, you could draw around the outline of those. You don't need the cutters. You can draw around the outline of these and use, cut them out and use those as your labels. You could draw around that for a circle label. You could draw around anything. You could draw around your ink. You take your dauber off. You can draw around your ink thing for a rectangle. You can always find something in a shape to draw around. So I'm going to do some with my cutters for quickness. So let's do, and these are perfect backgrounds for labels, these master boards are. I always do mine upside down, so I can see what's going on. I like to see what's happening on the other side and what shape I'm cutting out, what piece of the paper I'm cutting out. It's a bit awkward really because I can't really do it like this, but let's do 3 in that shape, and then we'll do a few in this shape. And there are 2 of these master boards in the kit, and it's the HeARTful kit. So there's my 3 circles. Ooh, that one's got stuck on there. So that's that. I've also got some fine liner pens and some scissors. So now let's do a bit of stamping. I've got my stamping board. These ones I think are going to be the best ones, but I thought we could use this one here to do a circle one. It's a stitching one, but I thought, well, for a sewing journal, I mean, I'm not doing a sewing journal, I'm doing the HeARTful one, but it's just an idea of how to do it. So I could stamp that on there like that, or I could stamp it onto a sewing thing, couldn't I, and use it as a label. So let's do 2 of those like that, and then so that's that one. I don't think I'm going to use any more of those. It was just that it was round, and I thought, oh, that'll make a good shape for a label. This one I'm thinking, once you've made your label, you might use these tiny ones to decorate it with, so that's why I got that one out. And then this one has got all the shapes and everything of labels, so they'll make like good backgrounds. There's a round one there, look, if I can get it off. Let's do a round one first. You could even decorate one of those with it if you wanted to, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to, I better give up trying to do so many or else I'll never get them all finished, will I? So there's that one. I mean, that cut that out and you're done, aren't you? But if you don't have stamps, there are other ways you can do it. So there's that one, and let's do that little one with a bird on it, shall we? Why not? And then I thought these little numbers and things would be handy for decorating some of the other labels we do. So let's do the square one. Oh, stuck it hot. Oh dear, I am at work. Right. Let's do that one just there. It don't come out very well. Let's put some more ink on it. It seems to have dried before I hit the paper by the look of it. That's better. There we go. So I'm going to cut those ones out. I'm thinking little ones like this, the little ones that are, and that one says filed, and that one is a number. I'm thinking they'll be useful to decorate some of the ones we just cut out the shape of. Yeah, so I'll keep those ones out for now. Pop those just over there. And then, yeah, I'm thinking another thing we can do is just draw around some shapes we've got, or if we've got some labels already, we can just draw around those to get the basic background for our labels. So we've got this oval one. And we've got this one. And we've got this one. I don't think we need any more round ones. We've got enough round ones, I think. But you get the idea. If you haven't got any stamps in the shape of labels, or you can even get die cuts, can't you? I didn't look through my die cuts, but I bet I've got some die cuts in the shape of labels as well. So yeah, have a look around. Have a look around your charity shops as well. They're really good for having bits and pieces like that. So I'm going to put those over there because they're ones that are made already. And then I'm going to cut these ones out. So this one is basically a label already, isn't it? You know, you've just printed it onto the paper and you've made yourself a label. And that's what we've done there. And then we've got these ones which I was going to put a little bit of something inside, and then they can be used either in the Hay or Herbology journal or whatever journal you want them for, really. You could just print off, you could just cut out some basic labels ready, and then when you decide you need some labels in your journal, you can decorate them to match your journal. That's a better idea, isn't it? I'll probably save those ones for a sewing journal then. And then and if you don't happen to have any of these shaped tags, I'll show you how to make them. You need a rectangle, but that's just cut a straight line across your paper. And a straight line up, and then back across. I mean, I'm no good at cutting straight lines, so it's no good taking any notice of me when I tell you to cut a straight line, because I don't know how to do it. But anyway, yeah, so cut like that. Cut yourself out a rectangle. So we've probably got 3 here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, not very straight ones, I'm afraid, but there we go. That's how I cut. That's better. And then if you've got a hole punch, one of these that cut, you know, makes a hole for your to put your brads in for your. You can use that to cut the corners off. You see what I mean? And this is the thing you would use to cut a hole in a tag, and it makes a very similar shape to that one. Can you see that one there? It makes a very similar shape to that. And then this one you would just cut a little bit off the corner like that, and use it as a pattern all the way round. Use the bit you've cut off as a pattern to give you a guide to what size you're cutting off, so that, you know, it looks a similar size. Do that all the way around. And there you have a tag very similar to that one. Very similar shape to that one. See? Just bigger. And then we'll do one that's just a rectangle shape. So I've got all of these tags here. Wow, I've got a lot to do, haven't I? That one's already finished. This one I'm just going to draw around the edge of it in my thick black brush pen. Just to give it a more finished look is all I'm trying to do. I need to cut that a bit straighter. I've not cut that bit very straight. There we go. So there we are. I just think that finishes it off a bit better. So these two I'm going to save, and I'll decorate them when I need them. So let's decorate this big rectangle one. So the first thing I'm going to do is the same thing again. I'm going to go all the way around the edge of it in my black pen. Thinner pen, the finest pen I've got, which is 0.1. I think that's the finest one I've got anyway. And then I'm just going to do a thin broken line all the, it doesn't even have to be broken, it can just be a normal, you know, just a drawn line, but I'm going to do like a broken line, like a stitched line just around the edge again, and it's just on the inside of that black line I've just done. So you could draw something in the middle, you could put a word, you could put some numbers. You don't have to have a stamp to do it. You could just literally just write something on it. You could even do pretend writing on it. So I have got some stamps, and I'm going to use some on here. So with it being quite a big thing, I'm going to put quite a big stamp on it just there, that black one, that number one. You could even put a sticker on it. See, that sticker would fit onto that stamp no problem. You could put a smaller label on it, like this one that says 1/4, like that. You've got little stickers or little anything with numbers on. Go through a book and use some of the numbers and letters out of there to cut out and put on your tag. You can always, you know, you can always find something. For example, on this box here, I've got a barcode. I could cut that barcode out and put that on it. You know, little things like that, they really do make a difference. I want it in the corner, so I'm going to put it in the corner like that, and it's only because I'm no good at writing and drawing. I hate the way my writing and drawing comes out, so Yeah, and then over here I've got this little there we go, let's put some you can put the leaf there like that. Like I say, just cut little pictures out of books you've got. You can get books, you know, at a really reasonable price at the charity shop. Sometimes they're even throwing them away. Look through your kids' books, you know, the numbers, the words, just cut them out and use those. There's always something you can use, honestly. So I've done that, and then I've got a filed stamp here, so I'm going to put filed just across here. I wonder if I should do it in a different colour, say in red or something. Let's have a look. I've got different colours in here, so let's try that one for the filed. And it can go sort of across, maybe at an angle like that. Yeah, I'm going to put it at an angle like that. There we go. Really pleased with that one. So we've made ourselves a little thing there, haven't we? Made ourselves a little label. We didn't have to buy any, so that's that one. Let's see if we can do one without any stamps or without anything at all, just with a pen and some paper. Let's do that next. So I've got this little one here. I'm going to do the same sort of outline on it as I did on the other one. So I'm going to go around with my brush pen. This can be a felt tip, it can be in any colour. I'm just choosing black because it's what I've got and it's easier for everyone to see. So I'm going to go around the edge in black, and I'm going to do this one without any stamps or anything. I'm just going to show you that it can be done. And then round again with the little, this time I think I'm just going to do a straight line. It's not going to be a broken line, it's just going to be a straight one. It's entirely up to you. You don't have to do this at all. If you don't want to put an outline on yours, don't put one on. I just think it, for me, I like the finished look more. So I'm going to put a line across the middle of this one, like that, and I'm going to put some numbers up here. I'm sort of following the style of this one, so it's got that number there, so I'm going to put, because I'm rubbish at, you know, 9, 5, 8, and then 7, and then I'll put the little dot, the O and the N. And the only way I've done it that way is so that I know it's fit in. So that says 26 Crew Dispatcher T Maguire. So I'm going to put dog handler on mine. Dog handler S. Fluffers I'm going to put. It really doesn't matter what you put. S fluffer. And then it says corresponding order at the bottom. I'm just going to put order at the bottom here. And that's it. That's my label made. I've just, you know, followed basically that there. I could put another number above there. That says 26 Crew Dispatcher. I'm going to put 14 dog handler there. We've got our number at the top there, we've got a name there. Yeah, love it. And we didn't use any stamps or anything for that one. So then let's do a circle one. You could just stick that one on there if you wanted to, couldn't you? Or you could get, like I say, you could use some smaller labels. You could put that quarter on there. I'm going to put a stamp of one of them big bees on here. So I want to use my brush around the outside again. I'm going to find the bee stamp, and if you don't actually have a bee or a bee stamp, you could use a picture of a bee or a picture of a moth, or, you know, if you've got printouts, or if you've got a magazine that probably has some pictures in you could use. There are some in this kit, pictures of moths and, not moths, pictures of butterflies and things you could use. So now I'm going to put a picture of a bee on it. Try and centre it. It's not going to fit perfectly because it's going to go over the edge a bit, but we'll do our best. There we are, that's fine. Look at that. And then you could do a bit of writing underneath it. What's this one got on it? It's got numbers and things on it, look. Yeah, so you could put a little number at the bottom, so let's put 1793 at the bottom, and then at the top let's put 2 of 4, so it's 2 out of 4 that have been found. Let's put a date on it. We'll put May 1904. We've got to put the 16th, haven't we? 16th of May 1904. And it says Russell and something there, and it's got an address. We don't need to put that on. But yeah, and then we could put the filed across it again in red. And this time I'm just going to do it with a red pen. So I've got a red pen and I'm just going to write filed straight across the middle of it like this. F-I-L-E-D. Maybe make it a bit thicker because it's not really showing up very well. There we are, filed, love it. So that sort of half and half. We did have the stamp of the bee, but I bet we could have drawn a bee on it. And then this one, we could do like this one here. It just has got 2 thin lines around the edge. So let's do some red lines around the edge, shall we? There we are, so I've done that one in red, and that says 50C on it, and then we've got one that says a quarter on it somewhere. I think I might just put a quarter on this one, so 1 there, and then a line, and then a 4. And that's it, that's another label done. And then I'll do one more and then we'll see how we could use them in our journal. So I'm going to use, I'll do another big one like this because I want to show you how you can just draw a bee on it. Brush bit to do the body, so we need the head part at the top, which is a little bit like this shape, a bit like a heart shape, I'd say. That's the head, and then we need the upper body. It's no good asking me where it's called. The torso, and we need the torso, and then under that we need the abdomen, the bottom part, like that. It's a bit more pointy. Mine isn't, but you know, in general they are. So that's the body of the bee done, and then we need antennae coming out at the top like that. We need some legs coming out just here. We need legs coming out just here, and we need legs coming out just here. So that's the legs, and then we need some wings. So I'm going to draw my wings. They're not going to be as big as they ought to be really, but anyway. Like that, and then I'm going to draw some lines on them. So that they look more bee-like. And same on this side. Just some random lines, and there you've got, I mean, it's nothing like that bee, but then I haven't printed it, I've just drawn it myself. And then I'm going to write on it a number, so we'll have 2072 on there, and then we'll have July 1943. What else does it say? And we'll have 1 of 3. Yeah, and I'll put Newport. I don't have to why I'm putting Newport, but I will do. There we go. So it's got a bit of writing on it, and then I'm going to write filed across it. So, yeah, I need that in the red, don't I? Really see it because of the black of the bug, but L E D. There we are. So that one was made completely without any I mean, look at the state of that poor bee. It's got a very large bottom. Sorry, bee. I mean, you know, it's not bad, is it really? It could have been worse, but it'll work. It'll work. That's the main thing. So we've got, how many have we got now? 1, 2. We've got the one that says a quarter on it. We've got the bird one. We've got the other circle one. And we've got them. Yeah, I think we've got enough now, and I'll show you how I would use them in my journal. I've got a few blanks to use up another day. Yeah. Okay, so let's see how we might use them in our journal. I mean, straight away I could pop one on the front of it just there, couldn't I? That would look good. or I could pop one just there. They're little things that can, you know, you can just pop in your journal, and that extra little bit really does make a difference. So I'd like one on there, but that one, I don't know if that one's, oh yeah, that one looks good, I like that one. Let's glue that one onto there. Let me get my stick out. I'm absolutely loving this journal, it's coming out so nicely, I'm so pleased with it. So we'll have that one there like that. Put that on here. Don't think we need one on there. Don't think we need one on there. We could put one on here. And I like how that looks. Let's stick that one on there, shall we? It still shows the colour of the button, but it just hides the holes in the button, so we'll do that. They just add a little bit of interest to your page, don't they? There we go. Then we don't need any there. There's my lovely butterfly. Love that butterfly. Then we've got the wax seal, the bumblebee. I wonder if we could put one on here. We could do, if we put one of these bigger ones, one of the bigger bee ones, we could use it as a tuck spot. So let's put, there we go. So I'm going to glue that on there like that, and it will become a tuck spot. Once it's dry, we'll be able to tuck all the things inside there, see? So we'll just leave that to dry. Yeah, you can tuck all the things inside there like that. Yeah, we don't need any on them. It's coming along really nicely. It's nearly finished, I think. I have a few more bits to put on it. Right, let's put this bird one on here like that. We can make it a tuck spot, but it doesn't mean you have to use it as one. You know, it can look like a picture and you can use it as a picture, but if you do need a tuck spot, it is one of those as well. There we are. So yeah, it looks like just a little picture in the corner, but it is also a tuck spot. Glue on there and I ruined my thing. Well, not ruined it, but I could put a little tag on there. No, it doesn't really go, does it? No. Love that page, that doesn't need anything. Maybe a little quarter tag on here somewhere. Could do, could do. Put it just there, I think. We're going to run out of tags in a minute. I've only got 2 left, but that's okay. I can always make more, and I've always got some that are ready made, so yeah. We'll put the little quarter one there. We've got a little hedgehog there. Yeah, I think I'm going to put a pocket on that page, or let's put this one on here, envelope. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it blank for now. One on there. That one I've just stuck on. It is just a picture. And then I've got one more left. Put it there. Could do. Let's see what else we've got. Yeah, I think I will. I think I'll pop it just on there like that. Yeah. And that's it. We've used up all of our tags. So yes, I hope you enjoyed that and got some inspiration from it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.